One of the biggest mistakes that guys make when attempting to talk to girls is asking question after question after question. So, for example, hey, how are you? What's your name? What are you drinking? Or where are you from? Do you come here often? Or at university, what are you studying? What's your major? Or at a bar, are you enjoying yourself tonight? And so on. It's just question after question. And one of the reasons why that doesn't work is that it doesn't create a two-way connection between you and the woman. Instead, it's a one-way interrogation, and she feels like she's being interrogated. What's with all the questions? Why is this guy continuing to ask me question after question after question? And her guard starts to go up. Additionally, she also gets the sense that the guy doesn't really know what he's doing when it comes to talking to girls, and he's hoping that if he just keeps asking her questions, then something's going to work. Something is going to hit, something's going to stick, right? She's going to start saying a lot. But when a woman is being asked question after question after question, her guard goes up. So the way to actually talk to girls in a way that brings them into the conversation and makes them feel attracted to you is just to add something before a question. So what you do is you make a statement and then ask a question. And I'll give you a number of examples of that now. But I first want to point out that it's okay to ask a woman a question without making a statement first. It really depends on how attracted the woman is to you. Because if a woman is very attracted to you and she wants to keep a conversation going with you, when you ask her a simple question, she will try to say more and she will try to ask you questions. But if a woman is looking at you as a maybe and she's not really sure yet about you, then she's often not going to be helping you keep the conversation going initially. She's going to want to see that you can create a spark with her. She's going to want to feel something for you first. Now, some girls are nicer than others, though. So this isn't black and white. There are shades of gray. Sometimes you'll come across a girl who isn't actually finding you attractive, but she's just a really nice person and she'll try to keep the conversation going with you. If you ask her question after question, she'll be answering those questions and she'll try to ask you questions and she'll try to add some things into the conversation to help you, but she won't be feeling attracted to you. So I'll give you some examples of what you could say at a bar or if you're at work or at university, right? So we'll start with a bar. And you have started the conversation with a girl and you've said, hey, how are you? Or, hey, I thought I'd come over and say hi. And you've said your introduction. Now, what do you say? How do you talk to her? How do you keep that conversation going? Well, if you just ask her question after question now, she will usually start to close up. But if you make a statement first, then she gets some information about you. She gets to see that you have a personality. There are some interesting things about you. And it also gives her some information about you and how you're feeling or what you think to then say something back to you to expand on the conversation. So, for example, rather than just saying, for example, hey, how are you? What's your name? And then saying, what do you think of the music here tonight? And just asking her that third question. For example, you make a statement first about how you feel, what you think about the venue. So, for example, you may say something like, I'm loving the vibe in here tonight. This place is cool. How about you? What do you think of the music? And then she sees that you're confident enough to express your opinion and how you feel about something, and you're not afraid of her potentially saying that she doesn't like that venue tonight. So, some guys will be afraid that if they say something and the woman doesn't agree with it, then they're going to lose their chance with her. But that's not how it works at all. For example, if a guy said, I'm loving the vibe here tonight, and asked her what she thought of the music. And she then said, yeah, I don't really like this place. We're actually thinking of leaving. What can he say then? Has he just stuffed up because he said that he loved the vibe there, but she's saying that she doesn't like it? So now they're not compatible. Right now, he's going to have to pretend now and say, yeah, I don't really like it too. And try to show her that they're the same. No, you don't need to do that. When talking to girls, they don't want to see that you're faking it and you're pretending, and you're trying to copy them or get approval from them in order to be accepted. Instead, you've got to accept yourself. And in a moment like that, you don't need to take it seriously. You don't need to get into a debate with her about whether the venue is good or not. Instead, if she said, yeah, I'm not really enjoying this place, we're actually thinking of leaving. After you've just said, I love the vibe here. What do you think of the music here tonight? You can react with something like, really? What don't you like about this place? And then she sees that you're maintaining your own confidence. You're not panicking and worrying, but you're also not trying to get into a serious debate with her or try to convince her in a serious way that the place you're at is cool, and so on. But you can playfully get into a debate about that with her if you want to. But essentially, you don't panic and worry that if you've said something, if you've given an opinion, then if she's got a different opinion now, she's not going to like you. Instead, what girls want to be able to see and what attracts them to you is when you can handle those up and down moments in a conversation, those times in a conversation where you and her aren't saying the same things or 100% agreeing on everything, and you can turn it into something that makes her smile or makes her respect you more or makes her see you as an interesting, cool guy. So, for example, if she said that she didn't like the place and she was thinking of leaving, a guy who's confident at talking to girls and isn't going to panic may also say something like, "Oh, you're being a party pooper now, right? This place is pretty cool. What's going on? What do you hate about this place?" And she then sees that he's only playfully challenging her in the moment. But she also feels attracted to the fact that he has the confidence and courage to playfully challenge her in the moment rather than just trying to agree with her and say something like, "Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I suppose it's not really that good. And yeah, they probably need a bit more space and maybe some better chairs over there. Or yeah, the music's a bit loud, isn't it? Yeah. And the drinks, yeah, they're a bit pricey, aren't they?" Trying to say something to agree with her so she likes him instead. He has the confidence and non-neediness to playfully challenge her, and that's what makes her feel attracted. Women are attracted to guys who have that type of confidence, who aren't afraid to playfully push a woman away or playfully put some pressure on a woman, or if he doesn't put any playful pressure on her, just maintain his own confidence, maintain his own cool. Don't think that if she thinks something else, then you're not getting along anymore and it's not going to work. Another example of how to talk to girls in a bar situation is after you've walked up and started the conversation, what are you going to say next, right? You've started the conversation and now you're stuck, right? Some guys will then say, "What are you drinking?" Or "Do you come here often?" Or "Have you been having fun tonight? Are you girls having fun tonight?" And so on. And essentially, he's trying to get into their world, right? And he's this outsider who doesn't feel welcome in their world. And he's hoping that if he continues to ask questions, then they're going to let him in. They're going to open up to him. But if a guy is asking question after question and he seems nervous as well, then women quickly get the sense that he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to talking to girls. He's stuck. And he's essentially hoping that if he keeps asking questions, something is going to happen. But he's missing this key piece of information that I'm sharing with you now. And that is where you make a statement first and you share a bit about yourself or you make a statement about something. So she's got some information about you and she can see that you're not afraid to say something. So, for example, a guy may say something like, "Yes, so I'm out with some friends tonight to relax and have a few drinks. How about yourself? What brings you out tonight?" And then she knows that, okay, he feels welcome. He feels fine in the social situation. He doesn't feel like an outsider who's saying, "Oh, hey, girls, how you doing? What are you drinking? Are you having a good night?" sort of thing, and trying to get into their world. Instead, he's having a good night of his own, and he doesn't need to make a big show out of that and say, yeah, I'm out with some friends and we're having an amazing time. Come and join my party." Or, "Are you good enough to join my party?" You don't need to put on an act of being this super outgoing party guy who's hyper or anything like that. You can be easygoing, you can be charming, you can be chill, you can be relaxed and confident and just say something like, "Yeah, well, I'm out tonight having a few drinks with some friends and relaxing. How about yourself? What brings you out tonight?" And she then sees that you're a charming, charismatic type of guy who is able to be confident and feel good about himself, but also make her feel good about herself, which is a big part of charisma. It's how you make the other person feel. And making them feel good about themselves in the moment is part of it, but it's not all of it. The other part to it is you actually have to be behaving in an attractive way. So if you're behaving in an attractive way and you're making her feel good about herself at the same time, she will look at you as a charismatic guy. So another example in terms of rather than saying, "Oh, so what are you drinking?" sort of thing after asking her name and how she is and going to that third question now is to say, "What you're drinking?" "Yeah, what's my first drink of the night? I've gone for Jamerson and soda. How about yourself? What are you drinking?" And by the way, one of the additional reasons why it's important to make a statement and then ask a question to follow up rather than just making a statement by itself is that some of the women that you'll come across are actually insecure or anxious or shy. Some guys don't realize that about women. They make the assumption that all women are confident. They don't suffer from anxiety or shyness or anything like that, but they do. And some women that you'll come across as well won't actually know what to say. They'll be struggling to come up with something to say. So it's important not to just make a statement and say something like, yeah, so I thought I'd go for a whiskey and Coke tonight, and just stand there, because some women will struggle to continue on that conversation. It's also not very charming just to make statements and stand there, because when you ask a question after making a statement, you're helping her into the conversation. And that's something that will make her see you as being charming, because essentially a woman will see you as charming if you're behaving in an attractive way. So you're making her feel attracted to your behavior and you're treating her well. If you just treat a woman well, then you're just being a nice guy. But if you're behaving in an attractive way, for example, you're being confident rather than being nervous, or you're using what I call playfully challenging humor, or you're using flirting, or you're being assertive at times, then any of those behaviors or other attractive behaviors are going to be triggering attraction inside of her. And if you're also treating her well, then she sees you as a charming guy. Okay, so the next example is an example of what I call playfully challenging humor, where you're making a statement and then asking a question, but the question that you're asking is a little bit funny to women. It's a bit challenging, and they'll want to answer no to part of the question in almost all cases, unless they're that type of girl. So, for example, I like your dress. It suits you. Are you more of a dress type of girl or a pants suit type of girl? And most women don't want to be a pantsuit wearing type of woman who looks like a corporate woman, or a female politician who goes around wearing pantsuits. Instead, they'll usually want to appear more feminine, and they'll prefer to wear a dress, even if they like to wear jeans and t-shirts or jeans and whatever. But in many cases, many girls, many women won't want to be that pantsuit wearing type of woman or girl. They will want to seem a bit more feminine. So that gets a bit of a laugh from the girl. And it's much better than just saying, oh, I like your dress. It really suits you. And then she says, yeah, thanks. And it's just that awkward silence. Or, oh, where did you get that dress? It's nice. And she then says that she got it at a store. Oh, okay. Yeah. And some more awkward silence. Right. So it creates a different feeling when you just make a statement, or when you're attempting to ask a question just to be nice, or when you're attempting to ask a question just to hopefully keep the conversation going, compared to when you have the courage, the confidence to say something first, to express something about yourself, or to express how you feel about something, your opinion on something, make a statement about something, and then ask her a question to help her into the conversation with you. So the next example may apply in a work situation or at a university. Essentially, there's a girl that you like and you haven't been able to meet her yet, and you've heard some things about her from other people. And when you then go and start a conversation with her, how are you going to talk to her? Is it going to be a, oh, hey, oh, hi, how are you? What's your name? Oh, I'm Dan. Oh, yeah. What are you studying? Or what floor do you work on, sort of thing. And just asking her a bunch of questions, and being that awkward guy who's hoping to keep the conversation going by asking question after question after question. Or are you going to make a statement? Are you going to show her some more about yourself? Give her some information about yourself. Be courageous enough to make a statement, share something about what you feel or think, and then bring her into the conversation. So, for example, after you've said the initial hello, you've said, hey, or how are you? What's your name? Or something like that. I'm Dan. What's your name? Oh, hi, Jenny. Sort of thing. Then make a statement, right? To let her have some information about you, to see that you're open, to get a sense of who you are, and essentially give her something to work with in the conversation. So, for example, yeah, so I work on the 8th floor in accounting. How about you? Rather than asking her something like, oh, so what do you do? And then following up with something like, what floor do you work on? And suddenly it feels like, hang on, why is he asking me all these details? What is he trying to accomplish here? Why is he asking me question after question? When you give a bit of information about yourself by making a statement first, it usually then results in the woman feeling more comfortable to reveal information about herself. So another example is at a university. Yes, so I've got a few more months left on my engineering degree. It's been a challenge, but I've enjoyed it. What about you? Still early on in your degree or nearly done? And as a result, she's got some information about you there, that you've got a few more months left and it's been a challenge, but you've enjoyed it. So there's some personality in there. She can get a sense of what kind of guy you are, rather than just asking her, oh, so what do you study? Oh, what do you think of it? What are your plans after university? And it's just question after question after question to the point where it feels like a one-way interrogation rather than a two-way connection. Another example is if after the hells and the exchanges of a little bit of chit-chat initially, you say something like, yeah, well, it's good to finally meet you. I've seen you around, but we haven't had a chance to chat. My friend Susie was telling me that you're really into hiking. Have you been doing much of that lately or any variation of what sort of activity she may be into, right? She's into this or that. And essentially, the guy is not afraid to say something like, good to finally meet you. I've seen you around, but we haven't had a chance to chat. He's not pretending that he hasn't noticed her, and he's not worried what she's going to think if he says that he's noticed her, because when you're a confident guy, you're not worried about those sort of things. You know that you can make women feel attracted when you're talking to them. She's going to like you, she's going to find you charming and charismatic. She's going to start to feel turned on as you continue the conversation. So it's fine. You're not a guy who is asking question after question after question to hopefully get into her world and hopefully be accepted by her to the point where it's like, "Oh, hi. Yeah. So what's your name? Jenny. Yeah. I mean, do you work here as well?" And then he continues to ask her questions such as what her job title is, how long she's been working there, does she enjoy it, and so on. And it's not a two-way connection. Instead, it's a one-way interrogation where he's trying to hopefully get access to her. Give me some more information. Hopefully, if I keep asking you questions, you're going to like me. Something's going to hit here. Something's going to stick. But instead, the woman starts to feel like, okay, why is he asking me question after question after question? And her guard goes up, and he notices that she's starting to lose interest, and he starts to become nervous, and he starts to worry and panic. And she notices that, and then she starts to lose more interest in him, and it just goes downhill from there. Another example is if a guy is talking to a girl at university or a woman at work, and say, for example, he went to the beach on the weekend with some friends. When he's talking to her, rather than just asking her what she's been up to, or how was her day going, or what did you get up to on the weekend, he gives some information about himself first. So they've passed the initial chit-chat of, hey, what's up, how are you, sort of thing. And then he makes a statement. He says something like, yeah, so the weekend was cool. I went to the beach with some buddies on Saturday, and we ended up going out and partying at night, which was a lot of fun. How about yourself? What did you get up to on the weekend? And then she has some information about him rather than him asking her, so how was your weekend? What did you get up to? After asking her maybe 3 or 4 questions before that, and she's feeling interrogated. She's feeling like, why is this guy asking me so many questions here? Instead, when you give a bit about yourself, the woman then feels more comfortable giving you information about herself. So in this example, you went to the beach on Saturday with some friends and ended up going out partying on Saturday night. And that may then lead to conversations about going out on the weekend. So for example, you may end up asking her if she goes out at night on weekends, does she like to go out and party, or is she more of a homebody? And she's going to be much more willing to answer that question or those questions. If you've given some information about yourself, if you're not withholding, if you're feeling courageous and open to just talk freely and not worry about making a statement that she may not agree with. For example, she may say that she doesn't like to go out on Friday and Saturday nights because she doesn't drink. What are you going to do then? Don't panic. Don't lose confidence. Instead, just roll with it. For example, she says something like that and you say, oh, cool. So what sort of things do you get up to? And everything is still cool. Everything is still fine. So in this video, I've taught you one aspect of talking to girls and making them feel attracted to you. But there's more to talking to girls than just making a statement followed by a question, rather than just asking question after question after question. And if you don't know the rest of what you need to do when talking to girls to make them feel attracted to you and get results, you'll likely continue to make these small mistakes that stuff up your opportunities with girls who actually did like you and you did have a chance with. And you may not even realize what you're stuffing up. You may walk away thinking, well, what the heck just happened there? Why didn't she like me? And it was just simple things that you could have changed and you could have gotten right. And if you did that, she would have felt so much more attracted to you and wanted to be with you. So if you're one of the guys who needs help when it comes to talking to girls and making them feel attracted to you and getting to sex and starting a relationship, then I recommend that you start watching my exclusive lessons at Master Attraction so you actually know what you're doing and can get results when talking to girls rather than ending up in the friend zone or getting rejected. In the lessons, I teach you exactly what to say and do to make women feel attracted to you and want you sexually, and how to actually have the confidence to shoot your shot and get results. Guys who've been learning from me at Master Attraction are getting results like this, where they kiss and have sex with women very quickly. They get out of the friend zone with women that they're attracted to. They get over their fear of talking to women. They get phone numbers at gyms and so on. They get themselves a girlfriend. They get girls asking to be their girlfriend. And the girl is actually hoping that she gets to be his girlfriend. He has that type of power because he knows how to make her feel attracted. He knows how to make her want to be with him rather than him hoping and trying to hopefully get a chance with her. Instead, he knows how to make the woman want to be with him where she is open and she wants something to happen. I'll see you in the next video here on